Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Monday. Monday. Oh Lord, it feels like a Monday today, doesn't it? It sure does. It sure do. She do. It sure does feel like a Monday today. Today has been a long day. I am exhausted right now. I am going to try my hardest to go on a walk tonight. But I have a feeling tonight is going to be a short walk because last night my walk was very, very long. Finished a book though on my walk last night. Finished the 4th Thursday Murder Club book, so that was good. But last night my walk was very long. I walked for 2 hours and 17 minutes last night. I probably could have walked for like 3 hours. I just kept on walking and walking and walking. I felt so good last night. I got started earlier in the day, so it was light for most of it. But then I came home. Well, we'll get to last night in a second. I took a nap last night, but I ended up staying up very, very late last night and watching movies and TV shows and reading because I knew that the contractor was coming out here today to finish the drywall. He said that it would only take like an hour. He said, we'll just be out there for like an hour. And so he said he would be there anytime between like 9:30 and 10. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to set my alarm for, because, I get up and I get the dogs and take them out and I bring them to the bed. And so I was like, I'll just get up, bring them to bed, and then when they come, I'll just like let them in and then they can do their stuff. And they were just finishing up stuff. And so I was like, and then when they leave, I'll go to sleep while they're working, and then when they leave, because I have I'll turn my phone on. I never turn my phone on, so like if a text or phone call comes through, it like wakes me up immediately, because I always have it on silent. So I was like, well, when they're done, they can just text me, and then, I can come down and whatever. And so I was like, I'm going to go back to bed. He had already told me, he was like, it's not going to be loud on Monday and stuff anyway, because I was like, okay, so my plan was that I was going to sleep while they were here working, and then I would go back to sleep when they left, because I figured they'd probably be done by like 11 or 11:30, and then I would sleep till like 1:30, and then, take the dogs out and stuff like that before, but then like when they left, and then I would go back to sleep till like 1:30, get up, and take the dogs out, and then film my videos. That was kind of my plan for today, because I wanted to stay up really, really late, and watch shows and movies and stuff. I was super excited about that last night. So I was like, I know I'm not going to get a lot of sleep, but I can go back to sleep while they're working and whatever. Well, they were really, really loud today. They had like this nail gun and stuff. He was so nice. He was like, I'm so sorry. He was like, we had to finish some stuff up around here, and so on the outside they had some stuff they had to do too. And they were not done. They didn't finish until like 1:30. So I did not get to go back to sleep. I was in bed with the dogs, but I literally just like laid there they got here. I think it was about 9:45. I let them in. And they got started like right away, and then I was laying in bed, and he texted me from downstairs, and he was like, "Okay, we're heading out." And so I came downstairs and walked them out and talked to them and stuff like that. It was like 1:30. I am exhausted right now. I am so tired. Alex just got home about a half an hour ago, and he has heated up his leftover Cuban from brunch on Sunday, and he's eating that. And he looked over at me, and I was like at the computer like this, and he goes, are you tired? I go, I'm exhausted. Like I could go to sleep right now. But I know that when I get done with my vlog, I'm going to want to take my walk. And I am on the 5th Thursday Murder Club book, so I want to finish it. My plan was to get all of them done by Monday. I have too much of the book to get it done today, so I'll probably end up finishing it tomorrow. We have counseling tomorrow, and then when I get home from counseling, it'll be dark when I start my walk, but it's fine. So my plan is to read half of it tonight, or listen to half of it tonight, and listen to the other half tomorrow and finish it by tomorrow. And then I'm going to listen to, my nose is itching me, I don't know why. And then I'm going to listen to the November Cozy Mystery book, and then I'm going to get into the James Patterson. So by the end of November, I will be caught up with all the books that I'm behind on the book club. So I'll be caught up by the end of November. I just made a cup of coffee. This is the Cafe Bustelo. Bustelo. I have to keep on remembering it. This is the Cafe Bustelo, and this is the vanilla, like, latte one. I want to say latte now because it's stay-lo. This is like the vanilla latte one. So anyway, how are you guys doing today? Are you having a good Monday? I said that it feels like a Monday I don't know really. My days just kind of, I mean, my Saturdays don't really look a lot different than my Mondays. I mean, you know, I don't film as much on the weekends, but I still film. And so I watch TV shows. I hang out at the house. Like, none of my days really look much different. Saturdays look like Tuesdays, look like Thursdays, look like Fridays. You know, so my days don't really look a whole lot different one day or the next. I think I was just saying that, you know, because people are always like, when I talk to my friends on Sundays, they're like, oh, tomorrow I have to, you know, get up early and go to work, and everybody's meal prepping and getting their groceries together and stuff like that. So cheers to the Cafe Bustelo and to a new week. But I'm saying that it feels like a Monday because I thought I'd get a lot of rest this morning, and then when I started my videos, I'd be like, boom, 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 boom. Plus, Alex said, well, he didn't end up getting home until later, but he thought he was going to be home at like 4:30 today. So when I got started making videos, I was like, I only have a while to make videos. And so I actually made 4 videos. So this is my 5th video today. See, to me, that feels like a slow day when I only make 4 videos. I know to other people, they're probably like, that's a lot of videos. And I made a 48-minute Sister Wives video. So that was a long video. But I made my Sister Wives video for my TV channel. I made a movie video reaction. And then I saw this dog just like walking down the street. And I was like, where is the... Hey, how are you? Good, how are you? Good. I was like, where? Like, I thought he was just like walking down the street with no leash, but the leash is like yellow and I couldn't see it. And then his owner came up behind him. So anyway, I made a Sister Wives video, movie reaction video. I did drama video and a Peter Does Stuff video. I did a dog haul showing Christmas stuff that I had gotten at PetSmart. So they were fun videos. I mean, if I started like waking up once I made the first video. I always do. Like when I'm like making the videos, I kind of like, I'm like, okay, now if like Alex wasn't coming home, because I had this stuff, I had these Archway cookies out to do a review. And like he had just texted me and he was like on his way, he was on his way home. At that point, my plan was to do the review, and then I was going to do a Peterisms video, and then if he wasn't on his way home yet, I was going to do the review and a Peterisms video, and then I was going to come out here, film my vlog, and then while the vlog was rendering, I was going to make all my thumbnails, and then when it was uploading, I was going to go on my walk and have all the videos posted before I took my walk. But since I didn't do the review and I didn't do my Peterisms video, I have all my thumbnails done, all the videos are uploaded, and they're all posted, so... Now I just have to render the video or render the vlog and then take a walk. So I'm excited about tonight. I love my walk. Like, I'm tired, but I know that once I get on it, I will be like super, super happy that I went on my walk. Last night it was weird on my walk. I've kind of been doing this thing now where I think I've talked about this on here before. First of all, I just feel so relaxed on my walks. I don't know why yesterday... Like, usually, like, it still takes me, like, I'll be inside and I'll be like, should I just skip today? And then I'm like, no, just go walk for, like, even if you just walk for 20 minutes, at least you got to walk in. That's kind of what motivates me out the door. But then when I get out, and even if I'm listening to music, I listened to one song last night. One song that I was like, you need to listen to this Thursday Murder Club book and get it done. I really liked the 4th one. The 3rd one I didn't like so much, but the 4th one I really, really liked. Somebody commented on my video, or they DM'd me, I can't remember, and they said they really liked the 3rd one. The 3rd one was just very confusing to me. The 4th one, though, which I thought that it was going to be, I was close to the beginning when I was talking about it yesterday. I thought it was going to be a lot about this, like this old guy that's like, well, they're all older because they live in like this retirement community, Cooper's Chase. But I thought it was gonna be about this older guy that was being scammed by like this woman to send him money. That was just like a really small part of it. It was really about drug dealing, was really what it really was, about heroin and all this kind of stuff. I kind of realized last night when I was walking, it's not so much the mysteries that I like. The mysteries, to be honest with you, they're very complicated. They're pretty complicated mysteries. I think that's what kind of takes them out of the cozy. Like, a lot of people don't consider them cozies. They're like, they're not really, they're more mystery thrillers. Whatever. I'm not splitting hairs over it. I don't care that deeply. But the murder mysteries, or the mysteries, well, there always is a murder. They're very complicated. Like, I don't want to ruin for anybody that hasn't read it yet. But like, this one had to do with like, it starts off with this guy getting killed, and then he has something, and then there's like this woman in jail. She was like in the previous book, and now she's like, they go to refer to her for like, her name's Connie, for all this stuff. And then the four of them, the Thursday Murder Club, are like trying to figure out the murder. And then they work with this like detective and Donna DeFreitas. I like her. She's a lot in the first book. She's in the other books as well. But she's kind of like, I mean, she always was just like a secondary character. But she's not as much a part of like the solving of the mysteries. Like by the fourth one, it's really about like, she's dating somebody that they know, and it's like her romantic interest. She's kind of in the background of it. I really like her as a character. So I wish she was in like more of the mystery. I mean, she's in the mystery, but she's not like a huge part of the mystery. The character development is so fantastic. Like the characters that, like the main characters of like Abraham and Joyce and Elizabeth, they're such poignant characters that you fall in love with the characters. In all honesty, I would almost prefer to read a book that wasn't a mystery, just about them. Because like the books are kind of supposed to be narrated by Joyce, and like she always ends the books with like narrating, and she usually starts the book. She's like, well, I know I haven't talked or written in a while or whatever, kind of like their journal entries. And it talks about like her daughter and stuff like that, who just thinks she's kind of foolish and lives in London. And Walter just came over here and picked up, I put on my my Ugg boots. He literally just walked over here and picked up one of my plastic Birkenstocks and then carried it off. Which is so funny, because like I'll come in from vlogging and Alex will be sitting down there like watching TV. Although he's watching his iPad because our TV is completely wrapped up in a plastic tarp right now because of the drywall. But I'll come in and like I'll look over at the bed, like one of the dog beds, and they'll have like both of my plastic Birkenstock sandals in there and then like something else. And I'll be like, did you see that they brought my shoes in there? They don't really do them any damage, which is kind of funny. They just kind of like pull them over there and then they just sit with them. I mean, people talk all the time about how their dogs chew up their shoes and stuff like that. I don't know if they don't know what to do with them or if they just like the idea of like, I don't know, having them, but he literally just, one of my sandals is sitting inside. He'll probably come over here and pick up that one. It's so cute, isn't it? They don't do them any damage. They don't chew on them or anything like that. It was funny because I came in, I put these boots on, and one day I came in and I went in there and Walter just looked up like, we're in trouble, Otis. Like, Otis, we're in trouble. They are so funny together. Otis doesn't really ever get bothered by it. Like, Walter always looks like, oh my God, did we do something we're not supposed to do? But like, Otis is just like, he's so like, just like casual. Like, we run the house. Don't even worry about him. So that day I came in though, and Walter like sat up like, what? Did we do something? Otis, I think we did something wrong. And Otis just laid there, and his head was just on my Birkenstock sandal. It just lay like, come and get it if you want it. They're so sweet. They are so sweet. I took them out one time today, and I swear to God, every neighbor was out. Mrs. was out. She's like, my favorite dogs. And they're like pulling on me. I'm like taking them across the street. And then as soon as I got across the street, I hear them running. Alex might be going upstairs, but he didn't turn the kitchen light off. So anyway, then as soon as I went across the street, I was talking to her in the driveway, they spotted my neighbor's husband. He's out there like cleaning up the mulch and stuff like that for the winter. And so then they like start pulling me over there. They want to go say hi to him. And then my favorite neighbor, she walked down the street and she's like, I don't know what's going on with her dog. She's like, he's usually real calm. And she's like, I don't know what's going on with him today. He's just acting crazy. And he was like real energetic. And so they were like, then they wanted to see him. And then I had like, you know, I always have like a handful of treats in my pocket. And so I was giving him some of the treats. I was giving them treats and stuff like that just to keep them all calm. And this other woman walked down with her dog that they know. And so, but my favorite, I call them my favorite neighbors, but their dog, her dog is like their favorite dog that they like to see. It's like this big poodle. Oh, there's Otis. Well, hi, Otis. There's Walter. And the she was, well, hi. What are you doing? They're running around. It's funny because, like, I was thinking about this last night. Because, like, late at night, oh, there he is again. Well, hi. Do you guys want to see him real quick? You guys want to be on camera? You're on candid camera. They said this is our second video appearance of the day. Otis is walking off. You can tell he is not bothered at all. Well, hi, Walter. Do you want to see my sandal over there? Can you see my one lone sandal over there sitting there? What are you doing, huh? Are you having a good... Oh, okay, he said. There he goes. So, they were in my Peter Does Stuff video today. Oh, there he's back. Where's Otis? He said, Dad, he's getting into trouble. Otis is getting into trouble. They're hanging out with Alex while I vlog, so they're just kind of running around downstairs. I can't remember what Alex was watching. He finished the flight attendant. He said the second season wasn't... He watched so much TV this weekend. I mean, I watched so much TV, but he just, like, goes through these, like... Oh, he's walking over to the sandal. He just, like, goes through these series. Like, I don't go through series as fast as my husband does. But anyway, I did this Peter Does Stuff video this Christmas haul. So, they don't really understand the being on the camera yet. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Last night I was thinking about this, because I took them out late. It was, like... Well, I take them out, like, probably, like, every 45 minutes to an hour when I'm watching TV late at night. They usually, like, towards the end of the night, they get real sleepy and they just lay next to me in the chair. But if one of them hops down, I know that that means that they need to go potty. So it was, like, I think it was maybe, like, 3 or 3:30. I took them out. And we were out here for a while. It usually kind of tires them out a little bit. And then I brought them inside, and as soon as I take those harnesses and stuff, they just, like, they run. And so they were, like, running around in circles. They usually don't do it, I mean, they run, like, when I take the harnesses off, but usually, like, that late at night, they're not, like, that wild, and they really were pretty wild last night. And I was like, I immediately want to call it, like, the zoomies. But, like, the zoomies for me, like, were when... I don't know why I think of it this way, like, Boo Radley towards, like, the end. Like, Boo Radley slept so much, like, the last 2 years of his life, but, like, he'd get, like, the zoomies every once in a while and get real energetic, you know, and we thought it was so cute. With puppies, it's completely different. With puppies, it's, like, an all-day thing. Like, they literally have the zoomies all day long. What's so funny about it, Walter doesn't do it as much as Otis does. Otis does it all the time. They will literally run laps around the downstairs, and then they run up the stairs. They go in the bed if Alex is up there. They come down the stairs. They go all over the place, right? But then all of a sudden, I'll, like, see Walter, like, in the bed, and I'll be like, where's Otis? And then I'll look, and Otis is just laid out on the floor. I have so many pictures of Otis just sleeping on his side on the floor. It's so cute. So anyway, what was I talking about with my walks? Oh yeah, like, as soon as I, like, start my walk, then I'm like, I want to be out walking and stuff like that. I feel like I've talked about 15 things in, like, 17 minutes so far. I don't even know what I was talking about. Anyway, so last night, we'll just start with last night. And get to, well, we can start with today. So they did a fantastic job. And he told me, he was like, he did a really nice job cleaning the stuff up. And, I mean, I didn't have to do anything today. And he was like, I would wait until they put the door in. So they're putting the patio door in on Wednesday. Fingers crossed, everything goes like a miracle. Because this just needs to be done. This just needs to be done. I don't think I'll be able to film it all on Wednesday. I mean, except for my vlog, obviously. So... I think I'm going to run with Caroline out for just like a half an hour, 45 minutes just to get out of the house. I think I'm going to talk to them about when they're going to like take a break. And then I think I'm going to go with Caroline during that. We'll try to arrange it around that. So anyway, but I know that Friday that they were coming out here to do it, they said they were going to come out here at like 8 o'clock in the morning and they would be out here till like 6 or 6:30 that night, if not later. They said they would be gone by 8. I was like, 12 hours. So I know Wednesday they're going to be out here all day long. So Wednesday I won't be able to film a whole lot. I was going to maybe tomorrow try to pre-film some stuff, but then we have marriage counseling tomorrow night. Which it has been at 5, but tomorrow is at 6, so it's a little bit later, so I don't have to leave so early. But I want to get everything done, including my vlog, before I even go take a shower for that. Because then when I come home, I'm going to want to walk. So today, they were just out here for a long time, so I didn't get a lot of sleep. Because I stayed up way too late last night. I don't know. I just was kind of like, at the end of the night, I was kind of like... 1 hour more or less, just stay up and watch. I had so much fun last night watching shows and movies and reading and stuff. So I really pushed it. It's my own damn fault. I mean, it's my own fault that I'm tired today. My eyes are tired. But I honest to God thought, like, the last time they were out here working, like, I fell asleep so quick in the bed. I thought that I would be able to do that again, but, like, it was loud today. And he even apologized for it. He's like, I didn't think that we were going to... I was like, it's fine. Like, you know... It's obviously part of what you have to do, like, you know what I mean? So anyway, I mean, I would fall asleep for like 15 or 20 minutes and I would like wake up and be like, with the, well, that's not really what the nail gun sounded like. The nail gun sounded like, it made this kind of like whoosh noise first, and then it would be like boom, whoosh, boom, whoosh, boom. But it'd be like that for like a half an hour. So anyway, I I talked to him today, though. He's going to come out in January. He and his son, they're going to come out in January, and they're going to give us estimates on, like, if they were going to do it, like, where they would start, like, how much it would cost. But then he was telling me today, he was like, oh, the sky is so pretty out there. I know if I turn the camera around, it'll still look like there's sun out, but it's, like, pretty dark, and the sun's almost set. But the sky is so pretty up there. Let me see if it'll pick it up on camera at all. I don't think it will. Oh, it is kind of. I don't know if you can see it over there, but it's so pretty right there. Let me see if I can focus it in, if it'll show it. It's not really. I don't know why I just had this weird memory when I was, like, showing you guys that, of, like, sitting here with my mom. Like, we would take walks. Like, the first couple years we got sober, I'd come over here and take a walk with her, and I remember nights like that, taking walks with her in, like, the fall and early winter, and then we would, like, drink coffee, and then I would go home, and those were some great years, those first years of sobriety. I think sharing that with my mom was really, really special, too, but, maybe I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But anyway, so he was saying, like, from a cost efficiency point of view, like, what stuff we could do first and whatever. I told Alex that. Alex was like, I really want to do this and do that first. And I said, I understand that, but, like, if the whole house is going to cost, like, $100 plus to do, like, we don't, have that right now to do all that. And so what he was saying was, like, do this first and I don't know. Caroline was like, do the basement first. I mean, and I told him that. He's like, I understand it because you got to have a place to work. I said, I can't. Like, the other thing is, like, I don't think I hear them playing in there. I don't think I realized until this that I don't really know how I'm going to make that work. Like, the house redo. Like, even if I was in the basement, this would still be loud. The basement has a closed door on it, so if I'm in the basement and it's concrete, maybe I could film down there. But I don't know how I'm going to make that work, like, while they're doing the basement. I mean, that's going to be a couple weeks to, like, I don't know. I mean, we're not doing it tomorrow, so I don't have to borrow trouble. But, one of my friends, it was so funny, she sent me this is one of my friend that lives in Oakland now, that she was like, anyway, one of Tanya and I's really good friends, and she knew my mom really well. Her mom passed away a year before my mom did. She was the one that kind of, like, walked me through my mom's, like, passing and really helped with stuff. She was the one that held my mom's hand when my mom passed in the hospital room. So my mom would always talk about don't borrow trouble, and we're on borrowed time. And she sent me this meme on Instagram, and it said something. It was the quote about borrowed time, and she was like, "This made me think of your mom." I thought that was really sweet. I have kind of felt like the last couple days like my mom has been around me. I smelled her one day. It was really weird. I don't know. I believe in all that stuff. I do believe that spirit visits us and stuff like that. And I was really thinking last night about, like, Boo, and I have this vision of, like, my mom's house. I think I've shared this before. I have this vision of my mom's house where my mom lives. So when I don't know if I've ever told this whole story before, but anyway, when my mom passed away, so Caroline's son David and my mom were very, very close. He was, like, the first grandchild, probably the only grandchild, on and on. My mom took care of him, like, 3 days a week. Either at my Aunt Kathy's house, or she would bring him over here and they would swim. And they were super, super close. And I don't know how old David would have been when my mom passed. So, 18, 19, 20. David's 20, he'll be 23 in January. So 18. He would have been like 5. I can see him at the funeral. He had a little suit on. He's got real long hair now, but his hair was like kind of like Prince Valiant when he was a little kid. He was so sweet. And so when my mom passed away that day, Caroline, like, picked him up from school and she brought him home. Have I told this story? I feel like I have. She brought him home from school, and this bird landed on the front of the car. She hadn't told him anything yet about my mom passing or whatever. And she knew she had to, and she was going to, like, take him inside and tell him. And this bird landed on the front of Caroline's car. And it was, like, this really, like, bizarre looking, like, cardinal. which is weird because my mom said if she came back to visit, she would come back to visit as a cardinal. And it was like this red and brown, like, it was really unique cardinal, Caroline said. She gave me something a couple years ago. Maybe I did show it on the vlog then. It was something that he wrote at the time about my mom, like that he had seen her at anyway, like after she had passed away. Like he understood that she was gone. So Caroline was like, David, do you see that bird? And he was like, oh yeah, I've seen that bird before. And she was like, what do you mean you've seen that bird before? And he was like, that bird lives at Aunt's house. And she was like, what? And he was like, yeah, that's where she lives now. And that bird is from the lake at her house. Well, when my mom, and I don't know if this is constructed because of that or whatever, but like I have this image of my mom's house that she lives in now. And it's very much kind of like old house, but like all white and wood floors inside. And like the windows don't have like glass on them or panes or anything. They're all just open. And her bedroom, like it has this huge, like just like the back of it is all just open. And it goes down to like this grassy, there's this huge like willow tree over this lake, which is why I love the willow trees over there. And then there's this lake around her. It's not like a huge lake. It's more of like, it's not a pond, but it's kind of like between a lake and a pond. And like even as I'm visualizing it now, I can kind of see the moon reflected off of it. And so when Tucker and Pee-Pee passed away, I would have like dreams where I would like see them sleeping on the end of this bed of my mom's. I could even see like the lamps. Like my mom would be sitting in bed and they'd be like at the end of the bed and there would be these lamps or like these like round like glass like balls, and then she would just like touch them and they would turn off. I would see them like sleeping in the dark sometimes. And then when Boo Radley passed, I had like this vision that like I even to this, and probably some of it is very made up just for my own emotional grief, you know, but like the purple bed he had there it's a white one, and he sleeps real close to my mom. And this was weird was the other night I woke up and I had this brief dream, and in it Boo Radley wasn't sleeping in his bed. He was sleeping like with his head up on my mom's lap. And I don't know why that, like, and it was like, oh, it's been a year. Like he knows where he's supposed to be now. Like this is where he's supposed to be. But it's really weird because like, I remember when Caroline told me that, and he said something to her about like, she said, I have to talk to you about, anyway, tell her that my mom had passed away. And he was like, oh, she's living at the lake now. And that's so weird. I think it's so weird. But anyway, so he's never had any visions or sights or anything like that since then. And he doesn't remember saying it. Like I've talked to him before and he doesn't remember saying it. But he did write this thing like after that happened, because Caroline found this, like this assignment when she was going through the basement. And she was like, oh, I saved this for you. It's like on that big, like, you know, paper that, like, kids write on for school and stuff like that. What is Alex watching in there? He's probably watching TikToks. He has been sending me so many TikToks from BravoCon the last 2 days. Anyway, but it said something on there about, like, the lake and the birds there and stuff like that. I don't know. Even if my mom was here and I said it to her, she'd be like, well, we have lakes in the neighborhood. That's probably what he's talking about. Like, my mom would be like, she wouldn't believe it. But I like to believe that. I don't know. So anyway, so yeah, so, but so last night I started walking. And honestly, when I started walking, it was earlier. So I was like, I don't really know. Like, I was kind of like, I knew I was going to walk longer, but I was like, I either have like some of my walks, well, typically I try to like aim for at least an hour. Like I'll go out and I'll be like, okay, if I just do 20 or 30 minutes, but it never ends up being 20 or 30 minutes. It always ends up being an hour. One of the things I do is I kind of force myself to go to a place where that even if I turn around, it's going to end up being an hour. So it's usually always like an hour. There's been a couple days where it's been like 45 minutes, but I don't usually like to get below that. One of the things I've been doing lately is, I gotta sit back, because my back, see, this is how I sit up, like on the bed, and then my back hurts. But if I sit back like this, I feel like it just looks strange. So anyway, you guys are probably like, Peter, we don't even notice. So one of the things when I first started like walking like every night, or not every night, but I was walking regularly, like 4 days a week or whatever, I had different routes I would take, and I would like go down to the pool. I don't usually, I mean, I'll go around the pool sometimes, but that's like the last thing I usually do. I would go out the back gate, and I would go through this neighborhood back in here, and there's like streets, and I would go in and out the streets. Or I would go straight down through here, and then the neighborhood through there, which I love, which is where Caroline grew up. I would go in and out of the streets. They're very long streets, and the houses are gorgeous. Each one's different, long yards. It's just very, there's always like, you know, people out doing yard work and stuff like that. I just love that neighborhood. And then I would go over to where like Sarah lives. Sarah lives like, if you walk it, if I left here and I walked to, the camera stopped. If I left here and I walked over to Sarah's house, it'd probably take me, how long would it take me if I walked to Sarah's house? It'd probably take me 40 minutes to walk to Sarah's house from here. So there was, and then there was another road that I recently started going down that I go across like a main road. It's not a huge main road, but a main road, and it takes me into a completely other neighborhood that I never really walked into before. There's like 2 other neighborhoods that I've never walked into before, and each of those neighborhoods have like probably like 10 streets. So there's still areas for me to discover in here. But what I've been doing lately, which has been really, I know this sounds corny, but if you're a walker, you'll know what I mean. Because for a while, I would just kind of like walk the same thing, like every single night. And it did get a little repetitive. It did get a little boring, you know? And so I'd be like, okay, tonight I'm gonna go down this way, tonight I'm gonna go that way. But what I've been doing lately is, I'll just like, I usually go down, like now, I usually go out the drive. So as soon as I step off I start my alarm, or start my, the timer, so I can see how long I've been walking. And then I go left out of the microwave, timer, microwave. I go left. Now watch, tonight I'll go right, because I said I mean, sometimes I go right, but very rarely. I go left out of the neighborhood. Well, like last night, I went around the lake, and I usually like come back down here, or I'll go around to the pool, and then but I've been doing the pool last lately. Last night I did the pool last. And so I just kept on going out of the neighborhood. Well, then I like walked down this one street, and then I walked down another street, and then I went back there, which I never go the long way and then come back there. And then I went up and down each street, and then like going down, and then I came back and went up and down each street again. And then I walked over into the neighborhood, the new neighborhood that I discovered. I just like combined all these. It was really fun last night, because I'd be like, oh, should I go down here? And I've been doing that a lot lately. I know it sounds corny. It's like, okay, it's a walk, but when you walk every single night, you do want to kind of make it fun. And so I was listening to the Thursday Murder Club, the fourth one. I don't even know what it's called. I actually realized last night that I put them in my Goodreads wrong, because what happens is, if it's like a series, so I don't have to look up the next book. I look up the book before I've said I finished it, and then I add the next one to what I'm reading, and then I go in and I say that I rank my book and say that I finished the last one. But I added the new one, and then I ranked it thinking it was the last one. So anyway, I had to go in last night and fix all that. So the one that I finished last night, I will tell you what it's called. I actually liked it. The first one I really, really liked. The second and the third one were not for me. Here, let's go into it. By the way, I'm like 9 books away from my goal. I have read 103 books this year out of 112. So the last book that I read was called The Last Devil to Die. So The Last Devil to Die, I gave 4 stars too. I really, really liked that one. It was sad though. A lot of it, you know, the characters are older, so they deal with a lot of like older issues. This one was so specifically about dementia. Like, some of their partners and friends have like passed and stuff in these books. They're real sad. That part really, really got me about the dementia stuff, because I have so many friends of mine whose parents are going through that. The Man Who Died Twice, which is the second book. The Bullet That Missed, which is the third book. I did not love this. The Thursday Murder, and now the one I'm reading right now is called, it just came out last September. It's called The Impossible Fortune. Yeah, and I'm not far into it at all. I'm like, I've got 3 hours and 52 minutes left of it. So anyway, last night I had a great walk, and came back from my walk. I did a bunch of stuff downstairs first. I can't remember what I did. I don't really remember the early part of the evening. Alex and I still have not watched Orange County and Salt Lake City because our TV is so wrapped up. And he was watching something, and so we were going to watch on the TV. I don't love watching TV on the TV in the bedroom. I like sitting down here in the living room. So we were going to have to unwrap the TV. And then he was like, but we're going to have to wrap it up again for them to come and work tomorrow. I was like, we'll just catch up on it later. So we haven't watched Salt Lake City or Orange County yet. He was watching TikToks from BravoCon and sent them to me, and then he was watching The Flight Attendant. I think he's on season 2. If there's a season 2 of Flight, maybe he started something else. He doesn't like There must be a season 2 because he doesn't like it as well as season 1. He had started that already because we were talking about that at brunch yesterday. And then I took a nap. I feel like, am I getting my nights confused? I feel like I took my nap later last night. Or maybe he went to bed early. Because when I laid down to take a nap, he said, I'm going to bed. Because he was on his phone, and I said, are you going to stay up for a little bit and watch a show? And he said, no, I'm going to go to bed right now. And he plugged in his phone, and then we laid there in the dark, and we lay in the dark and talk sometimes. It's probably some of my favorite moments with Alex. We do that in the hotel, too. Like, when we go to hotels, we'll, lay in the dark and with the fan on and stuff like that. I love that. But anyway, so he went to bed, then I laid down. Well, I'd taken a shower first, and I lay down. And then when I got up, oh, you know what? I washed my comfy clothes, and I had used those dryer sheets that are called, Christmas morning or something. I didn't even think to smell the clothes. I wanted to smell them when they came out of the dryer because I wanted to be like, okay, does it really smell like Christmas morning? I didn't notice that those clothes smell like anything. I would not spend the money on those dryer sheets. I like the idea of it. I think it's cute. And I think for a small load, I put 2, maybe even 3 dryer sheets because I was like, I really want to smell these comfy clothes, and it just didn't smell hardly at all. So I came downstairs, took the dogs out, walked the dogs around for a while around the yard and stuff like that, get them kind of worn out a little bit. Then I came inside and I watched Sister Wives and took my notes on Sister Wives and took them out again. And then I read the Thanksgiving Advent Calendar book. If you're reading it, I would like to know what you think about it. Nikki and I are kind of both on the same page about it. It started off real good, and now it's just, the wife is just always kind of standing in a corner and by this point, I was telling Nikki the other night, I said, the wife is acting real weird. She's possessed or something by the demons of the Thanksgiving table. But she doesn't know she's acting weird. And last night, she got violent with her husband in her sleep. At what point, if you didn't think that, they don't think, they're not even talking about the house being possessed or anything. He's mentioned to her, she needs to go see a therapist or whatever, and she gets real mad at him. I told Nikki, I said, if that was Alex, I'd be like, we need to do something. Because something, you are, you're sick or something's not right. She just, all of a sudden will just, start speaking in tongues, and she just stands in the shower. It's real weird stuff. It's every day. But nothing's really happening. The chapters are real short. I'm kind of over at this point. I feel like it's all just this setup, and then all the visitors are going to come the day before Thanksgiving, and that's when all hell's going to break loose, and then it's going to be over. And percentage-wise, we're already at 55%. We've got 2 weeks left of this book, so I don't know. These Advent Calendar books, I just feel they can't be that difficult to write. How can you screw it up so bad? You know? And I really liked this at first. And Nikki says she likes this one better than the 31st Trick or Treater. I don't know, maybe it's just because I like Halloween better and I could give a shit about Thanksgiving. But I was the Halloween one seemed scarier to me than this, even with the paranormal weirdo stuff going on. I mean, it was weird. It just was a weird bug. It was purple lights, and I don't know. It just was pink lights or what a mist. It was just a weird bug. But this one is just so repetitive every day. And it's literally 5 pages a day. I sat down last night, I made a cup of coffee and I sat down to read it, and I was done before I even had a sip of the coffee. I was damn, that was quick. So I read some other stuff, and then I wanted to watch a movie last night to review. So I think I'm going to review movies there's a lot of movies out there that I've never seen before. I've never seen The Princess Bride. I've never seen Labyrinth. By the way, Morgan McMichaels from RuPaul's Drag Race won Entertainer of the Year last night, and she did Labyrinth talent. It was fantastic. I looked it up online. It is so good. It was her very first pageant she ever, her interview was unbelievable. The question was something why now Entertainer of the Year? Entertainer of the Year was the very first drag pageant that I ever went to in Louisville, Kentucky. And they asked her interview question was something why now? You can look it up on her Facebook. She's got all the videos of the talent and the interview and stuff, if you have any interest in RuPaul's Drag Race and stuff. But they said something, her interview question, was she just so comfortable on stage? I think that was part of what I love about her. Erica Andrews was the same way, who is Roxy Andrews' drag mother, and Tandy Andrews' drag daughter. The House of Andrews I've loved for years and years and years. But they asked her something and she said, you know, like a lot of us that have been on television, like we don't know a lot about pageantry and we've gotten opportunities that other people haven't because we've been on TV. And she was like, I wanted to bring it back to where it all started. And so this was her very first pageant system that she had ever done. And she won. It was fantastic. It wasn't like, and it wasn't like they gave it to her because of her name. Morgan McMichaels, is that her name? Did I say McAdams? Morgan McMichaels from RuPaul's Drag Race. It wasn't like they just gave it to her either. I mean, her creative presentation, her evening gown, her talent was fantastic. I don't even know how she thought it up. I mean, it was like the David Bowie scene in like music video from Labyrinth. It was so good. I mean, it was so different than anything that you see in talent and drag pageantry. Everything was just flawless that she did. I mean, she deserved to win. I didn't see the other contestants. I just saw her stuff, but I haven't seen Labyrinth. So I was looking up some stuff last night. I was looking up like movies because like everybody always talks about The Notebook, right? Like I think I've only seen like maybe the first 30 to 45 minutes of The Notebook, and that would have been when it first came out on videotape years ago. I think I never finished it. I've never finished Rent. I started it. Have you guys heard the story about Rent? Okay. I was so excited. So many people talked about Rent and all this kind of stuff. I have so many funny stories about stupid movie stuff. I was so excited about Rent. I think Tanya was the one. I can't remember who told me, but everybody was talking about Rent. I think it was Tanya. It was like, you got to get this movie. I feel like I was single at the time that it came out. Maybe. I don't know. I was going through something. That's all I know. I rented that movie from the Blockbuster and I came home. I can see myself in my apartment. And I like got a big fountain pop. I'm sitting on the couch with this huge ashtray used to have, this pack of cigarettes. I was like so ready to get in this movie. That was so good. Right out of the gate, I did not realize it was like a rock opera, okay? I had no clue. I mean, I did not know. I mean, now I know, and I know what Rent's about and all that kind of stuff. I started watching it, and I was like, is it like all singing? I think I called Tanya, and she's like, yeah, did you not know that? I was like, a rock opera? I was like, oh, I can't do this. I'm like, I'm not a musical person. Annie. I like Annie, Oklahoma a little bit, My Fair Lady. I mean, musicals I listened to with my mom when I was a kid, but most of them I don't even like those musicals. My mom loved musicals. I just did not get that gene. That supposed gay gene. I just did not get that. The musical love. I think I probably would. I don't know. I don't know. I've seen a lot of musicals. And I saw the original production of Les Mis with my dad and my stepmom in London. And they both fell asleep. I thought it was boring and I didn't get it. I liked the movie. I watched the movie a couple years ago. It was okay. I really liked the two that are like dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. I don't really know that I get. Is it about the French Revolution? I don't know that I really understand Les Mis to this day. I don't think I do. I know that's embarrassing, but I don't think I get it. Tanya loves Les Mis. Tanya loves musicals. The other one was, okay, I worked with this gal. You know my friend that I've talked about that I used to work with? And she was like on the front of some roller skate magazine. She was like when she was a kid. I used to work with her. She had an asymmetrical hairdo. Like she said it was because like, she loved Prince. She had red hair. She was fantastic. I loved her so much. I found out she passed away earlier this year. Devastated me. Absolutely devastated me. And so she dated this guy for a while. Do you guys remember bootleg movies? Oh my God, I was in love with them. I mean, my ex and I think we had, I don't know, probably so many of them. But her boyfriend would pick her up from work, and then I'd be like, well, what movies does he have? And so she'd be like, open your trunk. And so I would go through these DVDs in the trunk, and oh my God, these DVDs were... He had like every new movie that was that. Do you guys remember that? Like, am I the only one that remembers that? Anyway, so I would like buy like on a Friday or something, like I buy like 4. My ex and I would get so excited about these bootleg DVDs. Most of them are pretty good, right? Well, do you remember, I've told this story before, I know I have. Do you remember when, I think maybe she just brought that one to me. I don't know if I bought that one out of the trunk of his car, but I can see myself going in the trunk of his car because he'd have them like all, they were real organized and stuff like that. There was also this guy that sold like oils that were like replica cologne oils that I worked with. He was in admissions. He worked in the admissions department. Oh my God, I wish I knew where he was today, because he sold this oil and it was called Victor Newman, you know, from Young and the Restless. This oil, I used to put it on and then I would spray the Michael Kors cologne on it that's discontinued. When I say it's discontinued and people are like, it's not discontinued, the Michael Kors that I wore is discontinued. It came in like a clear bottle. It was like, looked like some kind of like dark liquor or something like that, and then it had like kind of a marble top on it. I wore it for years. I loved it. But I would use that Victor Newman oil. I can remember I would see him like, and I'd be like, can you give me two? It was like $10.99. I'd be like, can you get me 2 bottles of that Victor Newman oil? And so I would wear it, and people literally would be like, oh my God, what is that smell that you have on? I have tried to find that Victor Newman cologne, oil, whatever. I have never been able to find that oil ever, and I have no idea where that guy is. I mean, I've been gone from, I think he left there, I think he went and worked somewhere else like 5 years before I left, and I left there 18 years ago. So what is that, 25 years ago or something like that? Anyway, I don't even remember I do remember what his name is. I think his name was David. I don't know, I just remembered that. Anyway, but he had the best, I would buy all these oils from him and stuff. They always smelled so good. But anyway, this one night, my ex was like, I was real close with this girl that I worked with, and we were friends for years and years afterwards too. And then we kind of like, I don't know what happened, like, she went and did something else. Well, she was like a caretaker for her parents. And then we kind of like lost touch with each other. We stayed in touch, I'd say, probably for 5 years after I left. So probably about 10 years ago. 10 years ago or more, we lost touch with each other. She moved away and was a caretaker for her parents. And we kind of lost touch with each other. And then I found out earlier this year that she had passed away. So, like, I would call her and ask her if her boyfriend had certain movies and whatever. So anyway, my ex was like, he really wanted to, we both wanted to see Passions of the Christ with Mel Gibson. I don't think I've ever seen it to this day, all the way through. I don't think I've ever seen it. Because we started watching it. I think we got a bunch of fast food or something. I can't remember how it was. We were killing for always getting a bunch of fast food, like $30 of Arby's, and just sitting there and stuffing our faces and watching, like, just, we would go and get, like, on the weekends, we get, like, Project Runway or America's Next Top Model, Amazing, all these reality shows. We just binge them. That's how we started binging Lost. We were like, the first 4 seasons of Lost were out. We binged them like over like 2 weeks. I literally, like, you know when people talk about like now, like, should we stay up and watch one more episode like on Netflix? This is before there were streaming services. Netflix, you literally got DVDs in the mail. I can remember that. I paid ridiculous something for, was it Saving Grace? Because I had that. I think finally maybe they just wrote it off or something, because like long after that service had stopped, I still had like one of the DVDs. And the other one that I had was that PBS show. Oprah and Gail went out there. It was the people that lived on like the prairie, but it was like a reality show. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? There's like a new one that's like that. It was like called Colonial Times or something like that. But anyway, it was a good show. I didn't finish watching that show. I had the DVD forever. But anyway, so we would go and we would buy these DVDs and then we would binge watch it. With Lost, I will never forget this. Well, first of all, I remember he and I, it must have been like, it wasn't the first time we went to Las Vegas, because I remember his dad for Christmas gave us those, do you guys, this is like, I mean, this was before iPads and everything. Do you guys remember those portable DVD players? And they were literally like this big, and you would fold up the screen and then you put a DVD in, like a CD player. His dad had given us those each, like one each for Christmas. We must have gone to Vegas like that following summer or something, and I had bought like the first season of Lost. And I started watching it. Have you ever seen Lost? We're like in the plane flying to Las Vegas. Have you ever seen Lost? It's about a plane crash. I was like, this is not the show to watch. So I think we started it when we came back, and then we binged it. And I can remember like being up and being like, should we watch one more episode, just one more episode, just one more episode before we, that show is one, you talk about, Lost is to this day one of my all-time favorite TV shows. That show is so binge-worthy. So anyway, but I can remember this night, she bought this, or I bought this Passions of the Christ from her. I think we only bought that one. It had just come out, so it was like, sometimes the bootlegs would be more expensive depending on like how old the movie. Do you guys remember that? Okay. So we get home and we got all of our food out and stuff like that, our snacks and our pops, and we're sitting there. We start watching this movie. I can see the beginning of it because there's like outside, and Anyway, it's like real dark and stuff like that. First of all, we noticed that the quality of the film was like real dark. Because they would go into movie theaters and they would film it. Do you remember like people that would bootleg movies? And so like sometimes like if this was the camera would go like that like halfway through the movie, then they would set it back up. But then there were like real good like bootlegging. Do you remember then like LimeWire and you could like download like whole movies? But they were pretty good quality. Some of these movies that we would we would buy the DVDs, they were pretty good quality too, but most of them were shit. But this one, I'll never forget. So we're like watching this movie and we're like 10 minutes into it and they're speaking like Latin or something like that and we have no clue what's going on. And he's like, are we supposed to like, are we supposed to understand what's going on or something? We were so confused about this. And so I picked up the phone and I called her. I was like, girl, what's going on? We're confused about this movie. And she was like, what do you mean you're confused about the movie? And I said, we don't understand, like, are there supposed to be subtitles on it? She goes, oh yeah, like, when he filmed it, I didn't realize he had filmed it himself. She was like, when he filmed it, or whenever, whoever, I guess, like, cut off the subtitles. Like, here's the camera, okay, they're only holding it up to, like, that part, so you're missing the subtitles on the bottom, right? I go, how are we supposed to understand this movie with no subtitles? Her response, to this day, I love this, her response, don't you know the Bible? Oh my God. So anyway, we did not watch that movie. We did not watch that. I have so many funny stories about movies like that. How about the fact that my mom, in the basement right now, I have like 3 or 4 copies of Legal Eagles and Mulholland Drive, which were 2 of my mom's favorite movies, and every year for Christmas she would buy it for me. She would like forget that she bought it for me. My mom loved David Lynch movies, and especially Mulholland Drive was her favorite movie. And she loved Legal Eagles with Deborah Winger and what's his name? He just passed away. Why can't I think? Robert Redford and Daryl Hannah. She loved. I should watch Splash. I haven't watched that movie in forever. I think I said that like last summer I was going to watch it, and I never did. But anyway, I forgot all about that. God love her. We used to sing that song because it was the song that she was known for roller skating to when she was a little kid. She did look a little bit like, when she was a little kid, she did look a little bit like Annie from the musical because she had like real curly red hair. And she would show me the front cover of this magazine. It was called like Roller Skate Mag, I don't know. But anyway, it was like her in like this like dress. But the song that she would sing to, it was by the Gap Band. I always want to say it's Charlene. Never put the metal to the rubber. Do you guys know what song I'm talking about? The Gap Band. Burn Rubber is what the song is called. And I always forget the lyrics to it. But she and I would sing this as we would walk out to our cars late at night. Oh, burn rubber on me. Why? Here it is, right here. I always thought it said Charlene. I never ever had a lover who put the pedal to the metal on, burn rubber on me. Charlie. Do you remember? That was her. Oh, I miss her. She was so great. Anyway, cheers to you, babe. I remember she did this. I learned so much from her. She had been in like this really, really intensive therapy. Like we both got sober at like the same ages. She was a couple years older than me, and she'd gone through this intensive therapy. And I remember she would do this thing where there was like this exercise she would do, and I would do it on my own too, like with anger. And she would do it with like washcloths, but you would take like a washcloth and you just like put all your anger into it and like try to rip it as hard as you could. Well, you can't really rip a washcloth. Sometimes you could, right, depending on your anger. But it was about physically feeling your anger. She was also the one that taught me the exercise. I think it was her. She was also the one that taught me the exercise of looking in the mirror. I think a therapist also had me do it later, but maybe it was my therapist when I first got a treatment, and then she reminded me of it later. The exercise about where you look yourself in a mirror and you say, I am a good son, I'm a good husband. You say I'm a good daughter, I'm a good, child, I'm a good wife, I'm a good friend. And the one that you get stuck on is the one you don't believe. And so you say positive affirmations to yourself, but you look at yourself in the mirror. when you start it, it feels so incredibly cheesy to do. But there'll be one that you cannot look at yourself. Maybe more than one that you literally can't look at. You write them down first, like things you want to believe about yourself, and then you look at yourself in the mirror and you read them out loud every single day. There'll be one where you're like, you don't want to look at yourself because you don't believe it. That's the one you have to work on the most. And I can remember, like, we talked about that. We would go get Burger King. Oh my God, I ate so much Burger King with her. Oh my God, I ate so much Burger King with her back in the day. We loved Burger King. But anyway, funny memories, good memories with her. You know what? When you look back on your life, it's like, I don't know, I have so many good memories with so many people. You see these like things on Instagram and whatever about like, it's really about the moments that you spend with people, but it really is about the moments that you spend with people. When you look back on your life, it's not like you sit there and you go, I mean, trust me, I like a good bag, I like a good hotel room. I do look back on hotel rooms sometimes, but I'm not like I'm in love with that hotel room. But it's like, I don't have memories of myself like, oh, I'm like that day that I was like buying this Gucci bag or something. It's never like that. And so when I look back in my life, it's like, it's always like laying in bed talking to Alex, or, you know, us like walking on the beach together or laying on the beach and he's just listening to music and I can see his foot tapping while I'm listening to an audiobook, or Tanya and I just laughing our asses off, you know, like in the gas station getting a fountain pop, or like, you know, she and I talked last night that's why I talked to Tanya last night for a long time. And we were talking all about, we always talk about solving the world's problems, you know. I mean, it's a joke. We were talking about just, I was telling her about stuff that I worked on in therapy, and she was talking about, we were talking about recovery stuff, and I don't know, we just had this really powerful conversation. Those are the moments, you know, like coming up to the door, my mom just be like, hey, and my mom gave the best hugs, and my Aunt Kathy's Christmases, and doing Cousin Fun Day with Caroline, and Halloween with Caroline, and I don't know, it's just, you know, it's, like, Nikki and I have been talking about doing puzzles. We're like, we got to get back to the puzzles. It's almost winter, you know, like the puzzles and all of Nikki and I's inside jokes and stuff that Mel and I don't know. It's just like Mel and I mean, I could text her right now, Endless Night, and she'd just start, it's just this book that I had to read the first year that we did the book club, and it was so bad. I don't know why the book scared me so much, but to this day, it's like those memories, you know, it's like, it really is about that. So last night, I wanted to watch a Christmas movie, or I wanted to watch some movie that was new. So I watched A Merry Little Xmas with Alicia Silverstone and Oliver Hudson, Kate Hudson's brother and Goldie Hawn's son. I love him. I love her too. And Melissa Joan Hart is in it as well. Oh, so is that Jamila Jamil that was in The Good Place, and she was also a judge on Legendary. Oh, she is gorgeous. I love her, and she's so funny too. I love her so much. It was okay. I did my reaction to it today. I mean, Christmas movies are cheesy, corny, and predictable, and that's what I said, and it was cheesy, corny, and predictable. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. There are 10 times better made-for-TV Christmas movies out there. I got so bored, like halfway through it, I went to go make coffee and I started cleaning the kitchen. Like, that's how boring it was. I had my AirPods on and I was listening to it. So then, when I got done with that, I watched the second to the last, I had 15 minutes left of episode 7 of The Beast in Me with Claire Danes and Matthew Rice, and then I watched episode 8, I think. Or did I had already finished it? No, I had to finish episode 7. That show is the binge-worthy show to watch right now. It is. I thought All Her Fault was good. Oh my God, that show with Claire Danes. I mean, it was so good. I did not, and I knew the ending was going to end somehow the way I thought it was going to end, but I didn't see it coming the way that it ended. It was fantastic. It was so, so, so good. So then, by then, it's real late, okay? But I'm like, I want to start a new BritBox show. So I started The Fall last night. Do you know what's so weird about this is? I knew it was like this British-Irish show. And so I've seen the cover, the poster for it forever. And I used to watch X-Files back in the day. And I was like, I swear that looks like Gillian Anderson in it. But Gillian Anderson, it can't be her. I've even said, I think, in videos referring to The Fall, that the main actress on it looks like Gillian Anderson from the X-Files. But I'm like, I know it's not her because she doesn't have a British accent. Like, you know? So it starts and it says Gillian Anderson. And I'm like, oh my God, it is Gillian Anderson. And so I look it up and I'm like, does Gillian Anderson, is she from the UK? And I didn't know that. So Gillian Anderson was born in like New York or California or Chicago or somewhere, and then she moved to London and grew up in London and then moved back. So she's called like dualectual or something. Do you guys know what the word is? Where she goes in and out of like speaking with like an English accent and an American accent, and she's very unconscious of it at times. I did not know that about her. I didn't get that far into the first episode. Well, I think I got like, because I was like so tired by the end, I was like, you just need to go to bed. And then the dogs were like getting up, and I was like, okay, I got to take them out and get them to sleep now. So I think I'm like 45 minutes into the first episode. It's about a serial killer, I guess. The camera stopped. It's about a serial killer, and he's like stalking this woman when it starts, and then she's doing like this investigation on this like messed up investigation that happened, and she's like brought in or something. I'm kind of confused about it a little bit, but I'm gonna keep on watching because so many people have told me that it's good. It's been like at the top of my, somebody recommended it to me again yesterday, and I said it's at the top of my list. It's been at the top of my list for a long time, and it's only three seasons. The first episode's 5 episodes. The first season's 5 episodes, and then it's 6 and 6 for season 2 and 3. So unless I get a couple episodes in, I'm like, I don't like it, but I'm sure I will. I just love the shows. I'm thinking about getting Acorn TV. Do I need Acorn TV? But there's so many shows, BAFTA award winners and stuff like that. There's so many shows that are on BritBox that I haven't watched that look so good. I like the ones, I mean, Shetland, to be honest with you, I have to say, more than Broadchurch, more than Happy Valley, like, Shetland sticks with me. Like, that show, I love that show. Like, I feel like I live in that town. Like, I think about Shetland all throughout the day. I really do. Like, when I make coffee, I think about Shetland. Cleaning my kitchen, I think about Shetland. Making the bed, I think about Shetland. I mean, Shetland is just, like, cozy. But not, like, cozy comforting. Like, coastal, cozy murder. If that makes any sense. I love that show so much. So anyway, I miss Shetland. The new season, I think, started, but it's not on BritBox yet. And I want to wait till it's all out and stuff like that before I, like, start watching an episode at a time. So I don't know. I'm going to watch The Fall. I think tonight that's all I have. I'll probably watch some movie. Oh, but this was what I was going to say on my movie channel. So if you have any recommendations, I don't think I've ever watched The Notebook all the way through. So I'm going to watch The Notebook. I'm going to watch The Princess Bride. I'm going to watch Labyrinth. Some of those, like, older movies that people, like, are like, oh, it's my favorite movie, all that kind of stuff. I don't even think I've seen The Matrix all the way through. So I might watch, like, The Matrix. I don't know if you guys have any recommendations for movies that are like they're like your all-time favorite movie. Put in the comment. Yeah, do that. Put your all-time favorite movie in the comment section below. Like, must watch it. You would recommend to everybody. And if I haven't seen it, then I'll add it to my list. I mean, if it's not like something so obscure that nobody's ever heard of it before, you know. But if it's something that like a lot of people like talk about and I've never watched it, I'll watch. There's actually, I mean, I've seen a lot of movies. Okay, I mean, I grew up on movies. My mom and dad both love movies. My stepmom loves movies. My aunt, everybody I know loves movies. We love movies. I've seen so many movies. But you'd be surprised. There are so many movies out there I haven't seen. I have never seen the Godfather movies. That's on my list as well. So I'm keeping a list of movies that I'm going to watch for the very first time. So tonight I'm thinking maybe The Notebook or The Princess Bride is what I'm thinking tonight. But kind of more like famous movies that I've never seen. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think that's it. I was going to talk about my mom and I in early recovery, wasn't I? Well, maybe I'll save that for tomorrow or the next day. I don't feel moved to talk about it right now. Like, I did earlier. I should have just kept on going with it. I do miss those days, though. I have this theory. I've actually talked to quite a few of my friends about it. That I feel like I know a lot of people that go out after like 6 months to a year, go back out and start using again, drinking or using drugs, after like 6 months to a year, that were really, really active in a 12-step program. And I think that one of the things that we don't talk about is that if you're somebody that gets sober by way of a 12-step program, when you come in, it's intoxicating. Like, I used to say, like, I never really, like, going to church. I never had this spiritual experience that other people that go to church, I feel like, probably have. Like, my mom would just go to, like, my mom would go to any church, but she loved going to, like on Christmas Eve or, you know, Christmas Day, she loved going to all hymn services where it's just all singing. And she would say it was such a spiritual experience for her. I never got that experience from church. I never felt that internally. when I started going to meetings, I felt like I would leave a meeting feeling like something spiritual had happened to me in a way that I felt like other people that went to church felt. And it was intoxicating early on. And I felt hope for the first time in my life. And then when my mom got sober, you know, she and I would talk about it. I made a few friends. One of my friends that got sober on New Year's Eve, I mean, she and I went to meetings probably the first year together all the time. She dated a guy in my aftercare group. She ended up moving away to get her master's degree in business. And, you know, we were super, super close our first year. But I think it's so intoxicating. And I know so many people that, like, when I came back into going to meetings, I was going to like 14 meetings a week, right? And you get to know everybody, especially if you go to like a clubhouse. There's clubhouses, recovery clubhouses, where they host like meetings all day long and stuff. You get to know everybody, you go to the dances. Recovery, like 12-step meetings, they have a lot of activities to do. There's like canoeing, there's hike outs, there's conferences, there's people get together for dinner, there's formal sign-up things, non-formal sign-up things. There's things constantly going on. Like, if I wanted to have something to do, my sponsor does a lot of that stuff. If I wanted to have something to do every night of the week, I could, not just going to meetings. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, we talk a lot about the fellowship of the program. And fellowshipping is really about interacting on a social level with people that are in recovery. There's constantly stuff going on. There's workshops. I mean, there's weekend-long workshops, there's week-long workshops, there's afternoon-long workshops. There's stuff to do all day long in recovery. And that's just in Indianapolis. So I'm sure in most cities or wherever you're close to a major city. And even if you live in a smaller city, there's always stuff. There's potluck suppers that are going on. There's activities. I mean, there's like Santa, bring your kids, stuff like that. I mean, there's always stuff going on. And so I've known quite a few people that get real into that. And it's like they're hitting 3 meetings a day. They're like taking notes in meetings. They're getting everybody coffee. They're pouring coffee in the meetings. And then at like 6 months or a year, they go back out. And I think that part of it is it's almost like a trading of addictions a little bit. It's like that feeling of hope and inspiration is so addicting. But then once you, I think we need to talk more about it, honestly, because I think that after you establish a foundation and you start going back to work or school and you start repairing relationships and you work through, you know, if you're going to stay with your husband or wife or get divorced or go in marriage counseling or working out relationships with your parents or siblings or friends, and you start saving money, you realize I'm not blowing money all the time. So you save a little bit of money here, a little bit of money there, and you get to take a trip. You start making friends that aren't in recovery. It's like you start getting your life back again, right? It's kind of scary a little bit. And I think it's almost kind of like people don't know what to do with that. And I know a lot of people that will like stay sober for 6 months to a year, and then they'll go back out, and then they come back in, and they do it all over again for 6 months to a year. They're so in it, right? Well, when I came back and I was going to meetings, when I came back after not having gone to meetings for 4 years, for those of you that don't know, there were 4 years where I didn't go to meetings. I didn't use, and I stayed in contact with people like Tanya, my sponsor, but I wasn't going to meetings. I wasn't active. And so when I came back in, I mean, I came back in and I was like, I'm in it to win it. I was going to like 2, if not 3 meetings a day. You know, like I think it was Friday nights, Alex and I would have date night. Saturday nights, he would go out with his girlfriends, and I would go to a candlelight meeting, and then out to like Steak and Shake or Denny's or something afterwards. And then Sundays we would do brunch. I would go to a morning meeting before brunch, and then I would go to an evening meeting, a speaker meeting on Sundays. I was going to so many meetings. I was so active that it was like, it almost, I mean, I felt in the middle of it. I had heard this lead, a speaker lead. I'm kind of rushing because I feel like this is it's at the halfway mark, and it has been for a while. I'm afraid it's going to stop. I'd heard this lead where the woman said, it's hard to fall off the wagon. Like the term falling off the wagon, meaning like going back and drinking again. She said it's hard to fall off the wagon when you're sitting in the middle of it. So if you don't want to fall off the wagon, surround yourself with recovery. And when I came back in, that's what I did. But it's intoxicating. And then what happens is you make all these friends, but then those friends get their lives back. And so, like, I was friends with a lot of newcomers, like my first year back. Well, some of them didn't stick around and stay sober, and a lot of them started working different jobs, they moved, you know, and so then it's like a new group of newcomers and whatever. And so it can be a little lonely. And I think a lot of people, I don't even think they consciously do this. I think they go in and out because that early feeling of recovery feels so good. It feels so intoxicating, and it's dangerous. And we don't talk about that a lot, you know? I mean, one of the things that's hard about long-term sobriety is, I mean, people all the time are like, oh, congratulations, I'm so proud of you, blah, 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 whatever. It's flashing at me. But it's like that early feeling of like hope that we had. Like, it's not an everyday thing. I mean, I've been sober for over 30 years. It's just kind of like the back of my hand. It's just what I do now. You know, it's just the language that I speak, you know? But I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful of all the friends I had. I'm really grateful that I got to share that with my mom. It's probably the most magical thing I've ever gotten to share with my mom besides her giving me life, you know? So I'm going to get off here now because it's flashing at me. It's going to die any minute. It'll probably die as the outro is going out. So if it does, I apologize. I used to go rush and get another battery, but I'm not doing that anymore. I hope you guys are having a magically amazing Monday. I'm going to go on my walk. If nobody else has told you this today, I can't do it. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.